only will Astralis's playoff hopes die, so too will the tiebreaker.
It was a lot of pain, sadness, emptiness, I think. It's like some sort of emptiness that they can't really explain.
And no, it doesn't matter. They were too far ahead.
We all kind of expected to go to playoffs, I think, as well. And then we just stumbled on the finishing line.
They made it entertaining, they made it fun, but they failed at the final hurdle, and Vitality keep their playoff hopes alive.
Okay, guys, what's the situation?
Next week, after that, we will have Dior. He will actually fly in. Yes?
Yeah. That was this rumor grabs going, and the same agent has grabs and Rika and few players. He told me, Rika told me just I said I need some kind of sign here, and he said then look for somebody else. Okay, clear sign, thanks. So that's. Yeah, out of the question, doesn't matter.
Saken is next. There's a buyout in place. How do we, is there any updates on that one? Is it realistic at all, or?
No, it wasn't impossible. There can happen strange things. Perks, together with Barney, wants to join Vitality. They sell the mid laner and everything because they only got quarterfinals in Worlds. What the hell are you thinking about? But that makes things move.
My point here is different though, is that if those guys change the market in Europe, then what happens is the guys that we want from Europe don't get the positions they want in Europe, so then we get them at the cost we want.
So for me, I like Dio. I would really love that but we can't change the weeks, that he could try the first week. But since he said, okay, he's ready to commit after the tryouts, if we want it, the only thing not committing to that guy, the way I see it, is we lose him. And then we go into the free agency.
But how do we lose him?
He signs with somebody else. He has no eyes.
He has no LEC offer.
No, but it could be that he says, okay, I have 2 offers in LLC or regional, I take them.
No, but that's the thing. I think we should maintain communication with him to the point where he actually is transparent with us. Like we just say, if you are ever looking to commit to someone before, just please tell us and stuff like that.
We are not allowed to sign any contracts until the 16th. The night between 15th and 16th at 12. Then we can sign all the contracts. But during night, you don't find out in the position we are. Okay, who took who, and then we'll find out 16th during the day, maybe 17th. But if he can wait with those teams, but it could be that they tell him, if you can commit now, we go to second position.
I'm still on the mindset we should just have him as a joker almost. In the case he randomly comes to us on free agency day and says, I think this is the best situation for me, cool.
Should I just text him?
You could tell him that.
I was transparent with him, that was why he came up with this answer, because I said, it's a waste of time not to tell you this is our budget. So if we just have the interview and we didn't go into some of the important details, better to let you know the details before we do the interview. And then he came up with this really nice answer,
Yeah. I think just let the door be open for him, and in the situation he says this actually is my best option, we are there.
He's an 18-year-old from Germany. He is obviously not the most experienced person, but he has a lot of potential, and from scouting that showed quite clearly, really, even in official games. His forte, I would say, is for sure team fighting, but he actually is pretty good at map movements as well, so obviously we are not sure of communication and all that kind of stuff, which is why trials are very important, of course, but we have a lot of faith in him to show a good level. I don't think we care much about risk, simply because in this case we have 4 veterans already. All of them are pretty experienced. I think we also have, in the makings, a more stable team through individual sessions and all that. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit surprising. It came like a
It
little.
was surprising.
It came like a little bit out of the blue, like when someone says that your vacation is, let's say, 1 month less than you expected. It feels a bit like it doesn't feel good, obviously. But being here anyway is always really nice. But it's just the change, I guess, that you have to do at the start, like getting back to routine. It's just hard.
He wants to clean.
I think there is like many things you can do in an off-season which is this long. There is habits that have to be created and basically take over the old habits. There is nutrition, there is sleep, there is hydration, and of course there is physical exercise, and all of these things are basically lived through right now.
How many kilos do you have?
I have 20.
Kind of weak, no?
As Bruce Lee once said, I'm scared of the guy. I mean, I'm not scared of the guy who knows 100. How's it called?
100 punches?
Yeah, 100 punches. I'm scared of the guy who just practicing one punch 100 times. I'm this kind of guy. I'm just practicing 20 kilos, 20 million times.
We've mostly been doing like a lot of team activities, like going to team dinners, bowling, mini golf.
Our mid laner is not here yet, so like he's been here for like 2 weeks now. We've been here for 3 weeks, I think. So it's not just like us three like bonding even more. Like I can't bond more with these guys.
Look, how you gonna play?
Oh, bro, what the fuck?
Fail again. You gotta fail again. Look.
You can't resist.
Why did you decide to keep Promsky on the roster?
Well, I think one thing that is kind of hard to see on camera and by the community is that the effect he has outside the game. Like, he's just basically a leader. He's stepping into the role more and more every split, I feel like. I just think he's an important social factor and as well a leader in the game. Like, there is many curveballs that he comes up with.
I kind of want to shoot here. Come.
No ult, Viego.
He's fearless, I would say, in his gameplay. Like, a lot of times it seems like he dies maybe for no reason, but that's just not true. Like, we usually send him in that kind of situations and we create plays for other people to, take over and express their skill in the game.
It was a bit rough to say goodbye to him because he was probably the closest friend I had in summer split. I teared up.
You're gonna tear up again?
No.
Are you sure? On a personal level, it was sad. I played with him for 2 years. Been friends with him for more than that. So it's always like a bit weird. You change your relationship when you work with someone compared to just being friends with them. It's gonna be kind of nice just being able to go back to just being friends.
I came early, I meet Jasper and he was like a bit sad, but I thought he didn't sleep enough, and he didn't tell me anything. And then Mati comes and like, oh shit guys, what happened to Jeppe? He was like what, like what the fuck?
It was just like a huge shock and I was like, what, why, Because we didn't know anything about it,
I think as an organization, we have different requirements from maybe most of the orgs in LEC in terms of how we view the esport athlete in his final form and the process to get there. And I think it's very important that our players believe in what we want to do. And if we don't, then we might have a situation. We just felt that Felix was not a good fit for us inside the game, outside the game as well. And we just felt it was really important that we get someone that kind of qualifies for our vision of what people have to do in the game especially. So we just wanted someone that's maybe moves more on the map, gets involved with the way the team wants to play as opposed to maybe drawing away from that. So we just wanted to make sure we have 5 people playing the exact same game. We just feel he was not a risk taker per se. Like, it could be in the champion pool reflected, it could maybe be on the map movements, it could maybe be even in some calls that he had to maybe follow or the team made. Like, as you might have noticed, we are a team that throws a lot of curveballs really. So I think you kind of have to embrace that if you want to be a part of this team and the team to actually function together properly, because otherwise we will have maybe 2 directions and it's never ending well unless you actually have all 5 on the same page.
For me, what impressed me the most is presence of mind. Like, I keep speaking about this with my other players as well in official games, but like this guy, he learned new concepts like tempo. I mean not new concepts, but more advanced in the topic of the tempo, right? From our reviews last week, right? And then this week he kind of was already making progress on that, and that is in a week under this pressure, under the new lifestyle, under the fatigue of gym, under all these factors, right? It's like most people, they only see like this, they only see like a small part and it takes them super long to improve, right? Like we had Felix, for example, similar situation. But this guy is like, you say something to him and he actually makes progress, Like, I really like that, in short term as well. So he's aware of the entire map, kind of, It's like, I suspect that's why he's not a choker in official games.
Okay. Well, in the Counter-Strike team, we are having a young guy as well, and it's exactly the same, but they need time and they need freedom to be good and be bad and try to figure out what do I do next time.
Because he is actually pretty fire the later the game goes. He's super good in fights. I don't know, there's so many times where everyone is just shocked because he jumps in and just almost kills everyone by himself, and everyone sounds like, oh no, and then like everyone is just dead, you know, like.
Yeah, like the way he practices is like he dies like average 10 times plus in a game in solo queue, you know. But what that means is that not that he's bad, it's just that he tests the limits of every champion, and none of them do that, you know, because they're not really used to playing like that, you know. So when this guy comes and in the communication and says something like, I'm just gonna go here, come follow me or something, you know, everyone's like, there is no play here, you know. And then this guy just makes the play happen, you know, because he knows the limits, you know. Like he has kills with 10 HP or something, but he kind of knows he can, you know.
Yeah.
Team dinner when we make cooking for each other, bruh. So
nice.
cringe, so cringe.
You say everything is cringe.
Yeah, it's really cringe. Everything is cringe.
Oh,
It's a true.
Life is just cringe, eh?
Life is just cringe. Yeah.
Where are you going? Are you trying to leave?
Look, this is my camera.
Oh.
Personal.
Really, like, I wanted to get out, you know, like. Oh, it's so